Yeah, in if I talk if you just if I talk about the potential automotive categories which can be sourced from India, there is a category of oil seals and gaskets. Already, I knew few suppliers who are already exporting to UK and US, and they are also getting the buyers are getting a good savings of 20 to 25% of their current spend after buying from the countries like India and Vietnam. So here also the other category which I like to highlight, that is fasteners, which is coming in the MRO category. So there is a, like I have worked on a project of fasteners in the past, in which one of the US buyer has worked with me on the categories like nut, bolts, snap rings and cotter pins, and they have placed PO to purchase order to two suppliers. I will show the case study also in this in the coming slides. Also the categories which are other categories which are adding value where you can get generate savings are forgings, iron machine casting like gray iron and SG iron both, injection molded plastics. You know that tooling also is like now people are moving towards India to get toolings, because you know capital investments are and tooling are quite, pricing are quite low and the quality is good. Also there are small stamping parts you can buy from India. There are few rubber parts like compression molded and injection molded part, and I did a project from India in which there was a buyer which was a refuse truck maker in US, and they buy there were two categories involved: molded parts as well as extruded parts. So molded parts, there is a huge scope of getting the savings of 20 to 25%, and extruded parts you can get different type of hoses like nylon hoses. You will get beadings from India. Already there are a lot of suppliers who are already exporting to Europe as well as US. The other categories which I mentioned, want to mention here specifically, as far as Poland buyers are concerned, they are already buying a lot of starter motors and wire harness and tubes, pipes and flexible hoses. Also, just to say and just to add to this, there is like already also a scope of brass radiators as well, which I know a few suppliers were already exporting to Poland and Europe, which is not mentioned here. So these are the potential categories where you can source from India. And Shama Consulting Plus has already a experience of working with the US based clients and some few European clients as well on these categories. So these are the categories which can add value and generate savings of 20 to 25% on your current spend.
Okay, thank you. So
Thank
this
you.
is about automotive, but not only those categories as well apply to different industries. India in general is a huge country. You have a really huge population. It's over 1.3 billion of people. When I read the news and when we discussed with you, you mentioned that the quality of life in India is gradually improving, that the government spent a lot of money in electrification and improving the standard of life. So I just wonder how the situation could look like in consumer durable goods,
Yeah.
if how this market look in India.